Hi, I'm Suki.
And I'm Claire.
Welcome to Getting Psychic, where you can listen to us use ourselves to test the theory that anyone can get psychic.
Hi, Suki.
Hi, Claire. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. We were just calling in our guides before this episode, and I was closing my eyes because you closed your eyes, and I was like, wonder what she's doing. Okay. Well, regarding the heart chakra, let me tell you something because it kind of ties into, messages and the quiet messages that you receive at first when you're getting psychic.
Mm.
And the fact that yesterday was like the third day or more where I was just kind of like having trouble breathing. Like I was having a difficult time feeling like I was fully inhaling, or that I had this like awareness of breathing. Like I felt like I had to keep trying to take deep breaths and I wasn't getting enough oxygen. So I finally talked to you about it, and you did a session on me yesterday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Leading up to that, I kept thinking heart wall, heart wall, heart wall.
Uh-huh.
What was that? What was that?
I was taking a deep breath without wanting to make a big noise.
Oh my God.
I made a weird face.
Because I was like, am I boring you to death right now? You're like, oh my God. Okay. So I kept thinking that, right? But really, I think that was a little bit of guidance and a note.
Yeah.
Right? But I think it's so funny how easy it is to go through your day to day while you're receiving messages, but just kind of ignore them. It really is a choice to be like, oh, okay. I wasn't just sitting in my car repeatedly thinking those two words for no reason. That was an indicator for me that that's what I needed to look at.
Right.
So when you did Source Point on me, it really was like heart oriented, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing Source Point because I always start with Source Point and then other things just sort of evolve out of it. But that's always the container. And the blockages were just all in this one area. It was your right side. And eventually, like, I just sort of was watching. And yeah, and it was like there was this exoskeleton around you as this barrier. And so afterwards, when we were just talking about everything, I was like, I feel like that was a wall block, like shielding your heart chakra. And you were like, heart wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Heart wall.
I was like, wait a minute. I've been saying heart wall to myself all day.
Heart wall.
Yeah. And it was kind of, and then you said, I think it's about doing this work and releasing these energies, because I had like a couple weeks ago did work about releasing kind of like emotional burdens, right? And you're like, I think that essentially like your heart is afraid of what it will be like if it's not as protected.
Well, right. I don't necessarily think it's your heart, but there is an emotional energy in you that just feels like the little you that is like, okay, yeah, no, I put this up for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that was so profound, and it so aligned with, I think, how I'm feeling really deep inside, right? It's like, "Oh, what am I gonna do if I actually sort of energetically release all of this protection that I have?"
Before I had started doing any of this kind of work, I think it might have been before I was even in school for acupuncture. My boyfriend's dog was dying. And I had known this dog since high school, and Sadie was the best. But I had never had a creature that I loved since a child that then died, and I didn't know that bond. I yeah. So,
Yeah.
and also I think I was actually pretty closed off in general to my deep, deep feelings. Heart wall, heart wall, heart wall. So anyway, what's super weird is right before that, my mom sent me an email about, I don't even know why, because it's so bizarre that she's the one who sent it. Sent me an article explaining directions on how to open your heart chakra. And I
Mhm.
actually called her and was like, because it's in like a Hotmail account that doesn't exist anymore. And I'm like, do you happen to keep emails? And no, because no grown-ups do, or no parents. No people our age, or I
Grown-ups.
know still don't consider us grown-ups. Almost 50. Um, um, no baby boomers save their emails, I think is the thing. Everything
Okay.
gets deleted. But anyway, so she didn't have it. So, but I remember I read it. I didn't then do it. But so my boyfriend is crying about his dog, and I'm holding him, and I am aware that I am thinking, how long is the crying going to last? And
Mhm.
I then caught myself being like, you're a cold bitch. Like, just allow him to be sad and cry. And so I decided that was a really good time to open my heart chakra. And
Yeah.
so I remembered, what I was supposed to do. And so I did it. And while holding him, and literally I felt it like crack open, and just got this like huge wave of empathy. And I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And then I was able to like be super present. But it's funny because I was not prepared for like my heart chakra to be open. And basically,
Yeah.
I just like walked around for, I feel like, a couple months just feeling raw, just like raw and
Way too
open. And
much.
yeah, like walking like naked through really cold weather, just being like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what clothes are
Yeah.
right now. Like, I don't know how to get them.
Oh my god.
Apparently, I
Okay, can
threw
you
them away.
share Yeah. Can you share with us how like, what the instructions were?
No, I have no idea what they were. I
You
like
don't know
tried.
what you did?
No, I have no idea. It was like almost 20 years ago. It actually was 20 years
Okay,
ago.
well, I'm gonna keep going.
Mhm.
How if someone want I mean, it seems like that was a bit intense, but, like, if someone felt the need to
Mhm.
open their heart chakra,
Mhm.
what would you say now?
Okay. The first thing is commit to it. You have to go in and you have to let yourself feel all the gnarly. And like the way that I think I would do it is I would try and get into a meditative state and then just write out every single thing. And it could just be individual words. It doesn't have to be huge stories,
Yeah.
but like words that signify things that when you think of heart wall, or you think of like what could block it in your
Yeah.
life, particularly when you're a kid.
Yeah.
List it all out. And I feel like once it's identified, and this is why I think it has to be written so it's in front of you and it like leaves you in a way. or at least it can't just become thought that spins. It's like real because it's on a piece of paper in front of you.
Yeah.
It can't be denied then.
How funny is it though that like right after that session that you did on me
Yeah.
yesterday, I was like,
Gotta go right.
I gotta go right. And it was like
Yeah.
I needed to go dump
Yeah.
some stuff out.
Totally.
It's weird.
So write it out, and then this takes practice, but like the awareness of living with all of those wounds, allow them to arise in your mind of like when you're interacting with people. Are you feeling shut off? Becoming aware of yourself and how you respond to people. Like you and I talked about this with like if you walked into a room, like if you went to visit your folks.
Yeah.
The protection that happens. And it's like, so when do we do that for ourselves? When do we shut things down? Like to become aware and conscious of those walls and barriers that we create is super important. And then I think one of the biggest things is to then figure out how to have gratitude for it. Like have gratitude for the part of you that felt the need to do that.
Yeah.
Have gratitude for yourself that you're willing to try and release it. Have gratitude for whatever it is that you've created a wall about because it has led you to this place. And I think the more we're able to have gratitude for the things that are for ourselves and the things that we go through and our stumbles and the other people that maybe trip us in our stumbles, that brings love into the present moment and to yourself. And really, when it comes down to it, that is what the heart chakra is for and is about, is capital L, love. And that every single being, thing, creature in the world has it and deserves it. And if we simply existed with our hearts a little more open, I think it would be a much nicer place. People, are going to be like, well, how can I have gratitude for this person that, like fucked me over, or, this person that abused me, or this terrible thing? Or how can I have my heart open when I can't forgive myself for doing this thing to somebody else? It's like, It's not just what's done to you, it's what you did. If you're open to love, it means you're also open to the hurt that can come with loving. And it's like, well, you don't have to, but man, living with love as a huge part of your consciousness all the time is really worth the struggle of going through it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want to bridge the gap between, or like let you explain what you think happened in your spontaneous mid-hug heart chakra ripping open versus what you just gave as a suggestion for other people to do, because you weren't like writing or meditating.
No, totally, I was not.
But you were just like, bleh.
Well, I think it was probably it might have been the first energy work that I did. My body was just like, word, we've been waiting. And just like cracked it open. I don't know. I don't think it was a special spell. I think it was important timing.
It was time.
It was real time. Yeah, and I think that for me personally, I had to actually be able to feel it, and then that rawness was so intense for a while, and I was super conscious of it, and it made me a super feely.
Yeah, so crazy.
Yeah. But I don't know how to make other people do that. I mean, I think that
no, I don't think you should. I think what I want to do here is point out that not everything comes in the same way.
No.
And some things you have to work for, and some things are thrust upon you.
Yep.
And
yeah, exactly.
And although we can give you supportive suggestions,
right,
there's no rule.
When I was, doing some reading about the heart chakra.
Yeah.
I thought it was really great to think about it as this central powerhouse of the system. It's like
Totally.
1, 2, and 3 are like the corporeal world. It's your physical existence. And then the heart is the bridge and door into the ethereal world.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
It's like a gateway between the physical and the spiritual.
Yeah. Everything that I was looking at, so much of it was talking about healing the wounds of being a kid. I mean, like, it's just one of those things of like, right, like that's, it's like we're insanely vulnerable and we don't know how to regulate emotion or how to even consider it. And all we know how to do is, try and protect.
I know.
And
It's wild.
it is. It's so wild and it's so annoying. I mean, like, I find it so annoying.
I was talking to a couple buddies from I'll just call it my manifestors group, but just some friends that I talk to about spiritual stuff like all day long. And one of them said, because I was talking about something cool that one of my kids said about something that he sort of saw in his mind's eye. And they were like, "Oh, you're such a good mom. That's so awesome that you're supporting all of that." And then, of course, the first thing I think is like, "Oh shit, you didn't see when I like freaked out on them today because I was in the middle of like closing my business for the day and they didn't have school and I was like being a psychopath." But I, of course, also apologize to them and make a
Mm.
practice of that when that never happened to me. And in thinking about that, I said, it is really weird. I feel like I am parenting 3 people.
Mm.
If Robert's listening to this, he's probably going to think I'm about to say him, but I feel like I'm parenting 3 people, them and reparenting myself.
Yeah, totally.
And it's also a wild extension of that when you were doing that heart wall work on me yesterday, you said, "Oh, have you seen your monk in a while?" And I said, "No." And you said, "Well, he's here. He like jumped into your heart chakra and is helping." So later I text you and I say, What was he doing?" And you said, "Oh, he was just holding space for the little kid you." And I was like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, like,
that's
but when he got in
so
there, he's like,
sweet.
I'm okay. I'm here. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. I was like, yeah, it's so wild how, it's like so many people do like inner child work and, we go to therapy to get over the shit that, happened.
Mhm.
And everyone's like, well, it wasn't that bad. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's like nothing, you can't compare. I mean, pain is pain.
Yeah.
Let's be cool with,
Yes.
like, just accept and allow yourself to move through it and forgive yourself and forgive them and all of it.
Yeah.
And, you did the best you can, have gratitude that you made it. And
Yeah.
but the whole idea of actually clearing it all sounds insane to me. I don't know if that actually happens. I mean, I feel like every single time I like get energy work or, work on something that it's like, oh, well, let's go back to, you know, this era. You're 4 years old, whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I went to therapy for years. Like, and as I say that, I actually recognize how much of it actually has changed. But it's taken a lot of heart opening work. And I don't think that we're ever done with any of the work. We've said this with like every chakra. Like, there's always shit to work on in it. Like, always.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having a ton of thoughts about this because it's like, one, the goal is not to be complete. We're never going to be cooked. Two, I don't think either one of us are people who hold on to resentment
Mm-mm.
even towards our parents or the things that happened to us in our childhood. Like I've always just kind of been like, well, here I am. I'm tough. I made it. I don't
Right.
actively, I mean, I know that's part of me, like the protection, and there is resentment, but it's not active. Like I would never say, "Oh, I hold anything against my parents." I'm not that person. So it's just kind of interesting that we're like onions, no matter how
Mm-hmm.
we feel or what we're intellectually holding on to, there's still so many layers of energetic protection or things weighing us down.
Release, all of it.
And it's funny because on this path, I was never one to be like, I want to heal myself. I want to go to therapy. I want to be a better person. I've always kind of been like, I'm good. So it's interesting to be peeling back the onion of who I am from that starting point.
Yeah.
Because really, this pursuit started with like, I want to get psychic.
Right.
I'm intuitive. I want more information.
And it's like, okay, let's go on a deep, deep dive.
Yes.
Yeah.
This never started from a point of I'm broken, I need healing.
No.
And maybe that's part of my protection that I just never felt that way or looked at life that way.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like I'm good. I don't hate my parents for my weird ass childhood. Like I got it. But what's coming has been a gift. And it has
Mm-hmm.
been really sort of a lot of healing work and unraveling that I never knew that I wanted. So the fact that as a metaphor, the heart as a gateway
Yeah.
from the physical world to the spiritual world is a perfect place for me to come to that understanding.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, you actually can't just see Claire's aura with your eyes open one day and think you're going to jump from like just learn some rules and learn how to get psychic. Like, oh, you can't move up to your throat chakra unless your heart chakra is a little bit balanced.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I can say the pursuit of healing and the pursuit of digging into that stuff, I would almost rather not look back.
Yeah.
So being forced through this on my way to getting psychic has been a gift and obviously necessary for my life path.
Yes. And I fully support anyone who wants to just be like, I don't want to, and just keep going. It's okay. You can
Yeah.
say you don't want to and then just learn everything. And at some point, when it is not terrifying, it'll happen. And
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like your spirit, your energy, your guides, they're not going to give you anything that you can't handle at the time. I just believe that.
Yeah. If I had a motto, it would be I'm fine. Like, I'm fine.
Good. That's something you and I have totally in common. Like, nope, good.
I know, I can sense that. I think this, without pursuing it, is helping. I don't know what my new motto is going to be, but hopefully it's something with a slightly more open heart.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you're still fine. But it's one of those things where, like, I totally love vulnerability. I think it's the best. I love being vulnerable. I love laying all my shit out and being like, here you go. The thing is about
Me
it,
too.
and what I have recognized is that that is part of my wall is to be completely be like, well, here's everything. Try and judge me now. Do you know what I mean? It's
Oh my
like
God. Oh, I absolutely know what you mean. In fact, I've been trying to figure out the math equation on this for myself for years. I will obviously, you've heard me, I will say anything. I have noted that I am more willing to share really vulnerable stuff than a lot of people that I know. And I've always tried to figure out where that fits with guardedness. So
Mhm.
please tell me what you figured out.
I figured out that if I lay it all out and I'm okay with all of it, well, then nobody can hurt it. If I show everything, nobody can like trick me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if somebody's like, well, I don't like this part of you, being like, I probably don't like that part of me either. I'm working on it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm already aware of it because there's self awareness. The thing is, though, that I'm like, but that's its own trick to me is like, I've only exposed what I know. What I know. I haven't exposed what I don't know yet. I don't talk about all this stuff with a lot of people, not because I don't want to, but because people don't feel necessarily open to it. But so that ends up in my mind kind of being a bit of a guard. It feels like a huge piece of me is ignored, which ends up being a wall, being like, okay, well, I guess I'll wall this part off of me so that you don't have
With
to.
certain people.
Yeah,
But
with
that's
certain
because
people.
you just, you know, that is it for fear of judgment, or is it because you know they're just not interested and it's too much?
I know that they're not interested, which then if I keep trying, it makes me feel like, well, why am I sitting? I mean, like, and I guess then there's a question of like, when do you get annoyed that you can't share all of yourself with your friends? But not
Yeah,
all of
that's
your
really
friends,
hard.
obviously. I know that not everyone can be everything. Actually, nobody can be everything. And we find different things for people. But I guess I consider it's not a wall in the sense of like, if they asked me, I would tell them. But I guess I don't know. I'm not sure where this is going, except for I'm what I was explaining was the things, the vulnerabilities that I know I have decided to just be incredibly open about them.
Yeah, me too. Because you know why? Because then we're in charge of them.
Yes, that's correct.
And that,
Which in
and
itself
that's exactly
is a
why
control thing. And with, you know, but I'm
Hartwell.
okay with that heart wall. I'm like, it's it is what it is right now. Like I don't know how to I mean like and the thing is I consider like then doing plant medicine or something else a thing that's like cool, not in control anymore. Like that is knocking down, a piece of heart wall, which I want. Like I want more broken down. I want to feel love and gratitude every fucking second of the day. And I every time I get annoyed and pissed off at something or someone, I really do try and switch it around to be like, have like, where's the love and the gratitude? Like, where's the kindness? What are they going through? And make
Yeah.
my emotions about it much smaller.
Yeah, totally.
But it's a fucking work in progress.
Yep. Yep. Well, a note on openness about your spirituality and buddies. I think it's becoming more important than ever to have at least a small group of people to be able to explore and communicate openly about your spiritual path with.
Hmm.
So it doesn't need to be all of your friends.
It doesn't.
You
And
can
actually,
you can
yeah.
compartmentalize and also try not to resent your friends that have no interest in talking about this with you.
Right.
But I
Totally.
think also that's part of why we started this.
Yeah. With the new space, because I'm moving into a new space, that
Yes,
just
we know.
and it just feels so different for some reason. I don't know why. But this is one of those things that I want to be able to do, is like have evenings where it's like, come over, let's drink delicious kombucha or tea and talk about the heart chakra or
Yeah.
whatever weird thing, we decide to talk about. And to just to attempt to create community so that
Yeah.
people can have other people. Because, man, the vibration is shifting. We all
Rapidly.
we all need it. We're all craving it. And
Yep.
particularly somewhere here, like here, where we are in a concrete jungle of sorts, it's
Yep.
really hard to find. And so I want to try and help foster a space that feels okay for that. I mean, not like every
Yeah,
day. Like you
absolutely.
can't come over every day. But
No, don't. We got jobs. We got work.
we got shit to do. But when you're invited,
No, I
please
think
come
that
over.
is, yes. You need a formal invite.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is super important, but we'll talk about that more too. Okay, I
Yeah.
do want to touch on,
Do it.
the stats of the heart chakra, because
Yeah.
we can't
Yes.
neglect it.
Yes.
So,
No,
one
please
thing I
don't.
do want to say, because we keep talking about the energy wall, or rather the heart wall, is like there's this practice called the emotion code, which I'm very obsessed with and
Mm-hmm.
intrigued by lately. I will learn it. But if you experience severe emotional trauma, your subconscious may form an energy wall to protect your heart from grievous injury. We refer to this protective shield of energy as the heart wall. It is made of a collection of trapped emotions which are wrapped layer by layer around the heart. So it follows suit that I would need to be forced on this healing journey in my path to get psychic. Total bullshit. But I just wanted to clarify why I kept getting and hearing heart wall. But so the heart chakra is the center for love. This is our spiritual center, our core, the place that unites force from above and below, within and without. The task of this chakra.
Did you just say chakra?
the, the task of the heart chakra is to integrate and balance the various aspects of our being and doing, so it brings a sense of wholeness to the entire organism and acceptance of exquisite interpretation of both spirit and matter. In the heart chakra, we're starting to go into the higher frequencies. It's a little bit of that physical energy and a little bit of that spiritual energy. It's similar to the sacral in that it has to do with how you connect to other people, but it also includes how you connect to everything around you: humanity, other dimensions, the planet. It's the core of who you really are. When the heart chakra is balanced, you may feel compassionate, understanding, love of self and others, empathic, inner peace, strong immune system. When the heart chakra is unbalanced, you may feel disorders of the heart, lungs, thymus, breasts, and arms, premature aging, upper back pain, circulation problems, asthma, immune system deficiency. When the heart chakra is underactive, you may feel shy, fear of getting hurt, feeling of loneliness or being unloved, suspicious, possessive, antisocial, judgmental, fear of relationships. When it's overactive, you may feel overly empathic, overly concerned, jealousy, poor boundaries, codependency, clinging, tendency to stay in abusive relationships, overly sacrificing. It is really interesting that, like, I always wonder about the terms like balanced and aligned, but I did a little bit of research to clarify, and a balanced chakra is a chakra that's energetically not um overactive or underactive, and aligned chakras have to do with the whole chakra system. So like
Mm-hmm.
when you hear aligning chakras, it has to do with aligning them as a piece of the whole in terms of all the chakras working together.
I saw this video that Dr. Joe did I don't know how he does these things, but they somehow were like testing people's chakras and like their alignment and showing how the alignment changed based on the meditation work that they were doing. And it was pretty amazing. And I think you could kind of think of it as like your auric field, like how much is put out versus, when we take pictures, you can see, even if it's just one color, that the energy that comes in might be thinner than what is given out. And I was thinking about it in that way of like, where are you using your energy? Are you keeping any for yourself? Are you constantly just giving it away? Or are you only keeping it and you're not? I mean, our energy is what we are constantly sharing. We don't have to actually talk to anyone, and we're sharing with them.
Yeah, it fucking sucks sometimes.
But it's like what we like pull in and what we expand out. But I like that definition between alignment and balance. I feel like balance is tricky.
Yeah. When your heart chakra is overactive, you might be someone that says yes to everything, or you're always giving everything to other people, or even giving people money. Let's see, what does it say? When all 7 chakras are opened, it is believed that the individual experiences a sense of balance, harmony, and well being. Each chakra is associated with different aspects of physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And when they are all open and balanced, it is thought to promote overall wellness and vitality. But that's the thing, too. If it's too open, your sort of, empathy is associated with the heart chakra, right? If it's too open, or there's like a hole in the back of your heart chakra, you could be empathetic to a degree that you're just sucking in stuff.
Yeah, you're draining yourself out and taking
Like,
in
oh
too
my
much.
God, I feel what other people feel. And in a sense, wow, that's incredible. But at a certain point, it's like, do I need to cry at everything I see?
No.
It might be
No,
an indicator that I should be continuing to seek balance in there.
And then, as we have spoken of before, there is a thin line between a boundary and a wall.
Yeah.
So what are some other things? Well, okay, so the stones, anything green.
Yeah, green stuff.
Malachite. Malachite's my favorite. Green fluorite. I love green fluorite a lot too. I think aventurine is a good one. Yeah, anything green. I mean, I think this is one of the reasons also that we love having plants around.
Yeah.
Is like, when you're in a room full of plants, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I feel alive and full of love because of leaves.
Yeah, totally. There's a meditation you can do with a green ball of light and sort of envision it in front of you. And every breath you take, envision it infusing your heart chakra with its energy.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
The element of the heart chakra is air, and the body parts it affects are lungs, heart, pericardium, arms, hands. The color is green, obviously. Its location is, it's centered where your heart is. Whereas your heart's a little bit off to the left, the heart chakra is
to the right of your sternum.
Yeah.
That's how I've always found it, is just to the right of your sternum. There's a tender spot. Like in between your nips.
Oh, okay. So that's in the middle of your chest.
It's the breastbone.
Okay, so you're saying it's to the right of your breastbone, it's not centered?
It's just to the right of your breastbone.
Oh yeah, I found it. It hurts.
Yeah, like it's
my heart hurts.
Yeah, it's tender. It's crazy.
Okay, everybody poke
my heart
poke
hurts.
to the right of their sternum. You'll feel it. It hurts.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Tender.
That's where it is.
It's a tender bitch.
Well, this will be an ongoing discussion because obviously we're being forced to excavate our feelings. So
totally.
Let's talk about real quick, because we promised a little bit of astrology for the mom or for the year.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's intense. I mean, hold on, give me 2 seconds.
I accept.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Shout through the heart.
Yeah, okay. So the biggest thing that is happening is that Pluto is moving pretty much fully into Aquarius. It did for a minute last
Mhm.
year, and then it popped back into Capricorn. It is now about to jump into Aquarius again. And at the end of the year, I think it pops back into Capricorn for a hot second.
Mhm.
And this starts a 20-year cycle. So any planet that was in a cardinal sign, so that is Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, Libra, they get a break from Pluto for a minute. Because since Pluto was in a cardinal sign, it is squaring or opposing or conjunct anything in one of those at some point. And it's really intense. I have had Pluto on my ascendant for 2 years, and it's been hilarious. It's actually fascinating. I love Pluto. Pluto is a little bit terrifying because it's all about, it's like the Tower card in tarot. So it basically reveals all the gnarliness so that it can be excavated and healed and transformed. But you have to go through the brutal excavation part.
How can people find out what that means to them?
Right. So let me keep going.
Okay.
So any planet that had been in a cardinal sign had been affected by this Pluto transit. So now it has moved into Aquarius, which is a fixed sign. It's a fixed air sign. Aquarius is all about individuality. It's all about freedom. It's all about technology and aliens. Like Aquarius is sort of like the weird dude in the corner that
Yeah.
knows a couple things that everyone's like, what's that guy doing at the party? He's got a lot of information. And he just wants everyone to know about it. But anyway, I mean, like Aquarius is pretty weird and fascinating. But it's what's amazing is when Pluto first entered Aquarius last year, it was the
Mhm.
day ChatGPT came out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's how astrology goes. Like, so for the next 20 years, it's going to be in this sign, and it's going to be a new restructuring of like how we use technology, what our freedoms mean to us. It's going to pressure us to transform our understanding of what it means to be human in this new
Mhm.
technological age.
Yeah. And get ready for aliens
And get ready for aliens.
if you're not already ready.
It's like a 20-year party, so you'll have plenty of time to
Wait,
consider
so
it.
it's my understanding it goes into Aquarius and then it takes a couple month break and then it's 20
It
years?
goes retrograde. No, it goes retrograde.
Ah,
It's going to go,
okay.
I mean, that's why it takes 20 years because its retrograde is months long.
Okay.
And so, but it only goes like the next time it goes retrograde, it will go back into Capricorn, but only to 29 degrees. And then it will just keep moving forward. So it's never going to then, it won't be in Capricorn again for like 260 years or something.
So not in our lifetime.
No, definitely not. But it will square Capricorn and it will oppose Capricorn, possibly in our lifetime. Maybe, no, it won't. It won't oppose Capricorn in our lifetime. So that's a big deal. Jupiter and Uranus are going to party together in April, which is pretty exciting. It's actually, I think it's really, really exciting. It's a super creative and liberating combination of like breakthroughs and breakthroughs in like conventional thinking. Like Uranus is the guy who wants to break everything down in the sense of like, it's like the iconoclast. It wants to like shake things up and be like, you don't have to be sticks in the mud. It wants to invent amazing, miraculous things. And Jupiter wants to make it awesome and huge. I think it's going to be it's going to be dope. And so it's in Taurus. So what do you have in Taurus? Whatever plants you have in Taurus or that you have in Earth sign, because Taurus is Earth, will be, smushed by that. We'll be given some pixie dust. It's in my second house, which makes me feel pretty excited about the things that I own and that which I value and my possessions and what I can gain. So I'm excited about that. I hope that's helpful.
You gotta look into that.
To my existence. And another big dude that's going to happen is Saturn is going to nuzzle up to Neptune. This is all going to be about reality versus illusion. It's going to be a really weird, interesting party, those two together, because Saturn is like the rules, the regulations, the structures. And I mean, I can only think about this in the election. All three of these, like having to filter out what is bullshit and what isn't, how AI is being used for fake news, all the bullshit. It's going to be a really very strong, intense year. We're also having the North American solar eclipse. The first week of April, we have a solar eclipse going over the Midwest, and that's always a special thing. So those are the big dudes of the year. You have any questions, lady?
I mean, so many, but I also have to go. So
pull out your chart. What house is Aquarius? That means that is the part of your life that Pluto is going to party in. If there are planets there, it's really important. If there are planets in the opposing sign, so the polarity, also super important. If you have planets in any of the fixed signs, so Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, Pluto in the next 20 years is going to party with you. Taurus, look for sure what's going on in Taurus in your chart, because that's where Uranus has been there for a while, and Jupiter coming up to it is just going to make it like big and badass. And then Neptune is in Pisces, so is Saturn. And Saturn in Pisces is just weird. It's not a sign that Saturn likes to be in, because it's hard to put Pisces in a box. Slippery bitch. So, and Neptune co-rules Pisces. So Neptune is real happy there. So Saturn, whatever you have in Pisces, see how Saturn and Neptune are going to affect it, or what it's going to affect.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will investigate and report back.
Dope. If anyone has any questions, feel free to write in.
Thank you so much for that.
So yeah. Well, everyone.
All right. Thanks for the heart talk.
Yeah. Heart to heart, it's important. Gratitude and love. Gratitude and love. Yeah. Peace sign.
Thanks, Claire.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Grateful. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation as much as we did. Be sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcasts so that you never miss a new episode. If you liked today's episode, please consider leaving a review to help the other psychics find their way here.